By the way, crazy guy. Yeah, one doctor Steven in Dubai, something happened.
The English is terrible, so terrible.
He didn't had this never get poor.
You put money at the first thing, you're gonna be broke.
Why you doing this?
It's always a journey. Let's go prosper. Billionaire Habit Podcast.
Yeah.
Hey guys, so welcome to another beautiful episode of the Billionaire Habits Podcast. Back was my first time doing podcast, but this is the Dubai and Burj Khalifa edition. I'm here at my house having this beautiful guest, and today, guess who I'm having? My one and only laptop videographer. We've shot several concepts.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, how are you, Yurii?
Hello. Absolutely. Good to see you too. Like all the time. Yeah, one doctor Steven in Dubai, something happened.
Yeah. I'm always coming up with different concepts, but I mean, those concepts will be useless without people like you who is able to help in executing them. How did you get into this field of cinematography, videography?
In this field, I got from university. I have a friend, his Nikita Shavagan. He was doing we have this lesson about digital something art, and I was in University of Construction and Architecture.
Really?
Yes.
And studied architecture.
Yes, but more like computer science.
Yeah.
So in part of this computer science, we study Photoshop, NLV and anything. My friend, he's from the group. He's like, let's do short film for this particular lesson. And then he went to do this video.
Yeah.
He started about aliens. It's really amateur, but he just started. I wasn't shooting. I was there acting.
Oh, what?
Because I was in this process. I get to know how it's done.
Yeah.
Yes. What he's doing, he put special effects.
Yeah.
He put this explosion, but they look silly and.
Ballroom where you were. Yeah.
Yeah, I was like a hero. Was trying to save this. I need to find motherboard, part of the equipment, and connect it with something, and then kill the robot who was about to kill. It was crazy, and they give us they award us with all part with Ukraine words, parts like capital Kiev, and Kiev. It was really interesting, and that they paid to us extra stipendia. How do they call this one? And
stipend.
Yeah.
By the way, guys, so if you see Yurii struggle with English, original language is
Ukrainian
language. We are similar to Russian, by the way.
Yeah.
So he then, in his mind, has to translate to English.
Yeah, I speak in my language, then I translate directly. Sometimes it's not constructed.
Don't worry if you see it, I'm not sure what I said is what I meant. Which is interesting, because I think we never had that problem, because we're bilingual.
Yeah.
In Nigeria, we're taught, in my house anyway, I was taught my local dialects, my parents shall relent it. And it's hurting me that I'm not sure we're teaching our kids. So naturally, my brain can translate in English or in Yoruba. It doesn't need to do.
That's really nice. I was start to learn English in school, and when I was 12, and then. But when you learn English in school, it's different when you speak.
Whatever. Are you taught in the university in English or in Ukrainian?
Ukrainian and Russian language. Yeah,
that's hard to teach you. So they don't teach you in English.
No, of course not. We have 2 lessons per week English, so and I never did my homework. That's why I don't know.
That's terrible. That's why the English is terrible. So terrible.
Think it's hard. But come on, it's I know that I'm doing a lot of mistakes in my English.
But you try. I'm just kidding. So what year did you move to Dubai?
But first I moved to Azerbaijan. I was 24 when I moved from my home. the situation is like in Ukraine that time was like a bit intense about it was starting the war starting, but they call it differently. And I was thinking like, and I want adventures all the time. And I'm like, one of my friends said like in Azerbaijan it's good. I like, okay, I will try. I just took my backpack and just go. I have $500 with me, which I paid $300 for rent.
So how did you survive?
I don't know. No, I was doing video. I have the small camera with it like it's not even professional. It's like semi-professional. And
How were you getting clients?
I stay there, like, I have $200, and my country is, like, in war, So, and one of my friends said, if you go back, they will took you to military, then you will like, you will be soldier on the borders, I'm like,
I would do that.
And then it was, like, closed, like, for me, like, I don't have way back. So I'm just start walking on the street and it's passing by the shops or something. And then saying like I can do videos for you.
Wow.
And the social media were just starting.
Wow.
Yes. And
you got clients?
Yes. One of first client was like for $20.
Wow.
Second client was for $50.
Wow.
Third for 100 and then so on. Then I discovered if I go directly, or guys that want to do some videos for you, they like, no, we don't need. And if I say, oh, guys, you don't know this shop next to you, I'm looking for this. It's on the map, but I want to do video for them. It's really nice. when it's not for them, it's like, oh, what are you doing? Why close to them?
Oh, are you for real? Very bad money at this strategy. These are billionaire habits.
Yeah.
How many years? 40 years in Azerbaijan.
Yeah.
What language do they speak in it?
I speak like 10-20% Azerbaijan, like a language, but I with that I understand a bit Turkish.
So you learn Azerbaijan before you left Ukraine, or what?
No. I wasn't still learning, like I was speaking, like people speak to me and I need to understand how to order food and everything. But the thing is, in this country, it's like it's post-Soviet Union country, and it's like 80% of people speak Russian. So I can communicate, but there is a lot of like big percentage of people who don't speak. And I didn't.
So they used to be under Soviet Union.
Yes,
I see.
And I get to the project there. For Olympic Games 2015, there was this project. Then for some project for Eurovision, some of the Ukrainian team, they produced singers from Azerbaijan for Eurovision. Then we start do like covers for Eurovision singers. Then I was doing, there was a second Olympic Games, which is Islamic game, and we're shooting and broadcasting there, doing some.
How did Dubai come into the picture?
I have a friend, like he's a dentist, his name and we was sitting at a phone. There was launching a dental clinic in Azerbaijan. He's from Kiev as well. And it's like, oh, Azerbaijan, it's not business not going well. I thinking to go back, and he's like start to telling me things which I'm not really like about this place at that time. And then it was winter. Just idea come to mind, maybe Dubai, because well, one of my
really adventurous.
One of my mentor,
yes,
he's saying in these interviews, like he wasn't my mentor personally. I just watched him online, and he's like, "Oh, Dubai
model.
Yeah, Dubai is a great country, yes, to visit and to grow there. And I observe it a bit, but not too much. And then I just go straight away, just also backpack a bit bigger, a bit better equipment, because I bought like Netflix approved camera, some equipment and skills better. I'm pretty good resume because I work with in a big project.
Yeah.
And then I got here, like,
how many He used to come to Dubai.
How much was it? $1,000. $3,000.
Oh, now you
But they pay 1,000 for rent. But I found the client in the first launch.
Who was your first client?
First client was lady. She's from Ukraine. Very nice. She's filmmaker, and she was doing some films for Netflix, and she's really talented.
How much was?
And I edited some video for the Cannes Festival, Cannes Film Festival, and she paid me $800.
Better $20.
Yeah, that, and she also wanted to hire me, like for the full time. I said yes, but then the client canceled 5 in a row. Then she can handle me, and I go by myself.
Yeah. So who was that your second client, your top client in the world?
Right now,
In terms of after you had a job, what other job did you get?
so I get to know one of the marketing guy from Pirelli. So I was doing shoot for McLaren, Porsche events like this.
Yeah.
Then I get to know Lorenzo, which February.
Great guy.
Recently we're shooting with him, by the way. We worked with him. Then because of him, I went to shoot documentary in Africa, in Cape Verde. I met there, like we spent 2 months there shooting with president, prime minister.
Yeah.
It's not like really nice documentary.
Yeah.
Then I go back. I was participating here in a Hollywood film,
Yeah.
but for the Abu Dhabi like government and stuff like this, ambush. Then they call it dive coming. So it's like what it was big Hollywood production. I was there shooting behind the scenes. It was in team. So I get to know how the Hollywood film works. When the Hollywood producers who shoot Taken, but DOP was shooting Fifth Element, Leon Killer, this movie, and it's the producer Black Swan.
Yeah.
So Wolf Nolan and stuff. And that's why I like Dubai, because here is happening something for the worldwide.
Yeah. So for you, what do you think was the genesis of the Russian-Ukraine crisis?
This is, in my opinion, it's a greed of one person. This is the education for all population, how the greed can go high.
So do you think if Putin were to be out of power, the war will end?
Yes, but not soon. Like, it's not immediately, but he create his structure, which is also filled with greed.
Yeah.
Like the people want to
Aspire.
money, yes, and he create the structure. So I mean, I don't know if you remove this one from the structure, it will go, or it will maintain itself. Maybe it will find another hero to maintain the structure, but this all based on greed, and it's infinite greed. There without bottom.
Well, why does it seem that Russia has always had? I don't know whether it was the world that painted Russia that way, but it seems as if Russia has always had leaders that were power drunk.
That they have this power of oil and big territory that they're not using. It's pretty weird.
So they had a very large landmass.
Landmass and a lot of oil. So, and he built his structure on this. When he have resources, he built around him money fountain, and surround people with this kind of people around. So yeah, and like this. And he was buying also governments from Ukraine before, like he was the previous president. Yeah, he just buying the guy. If he's doing what he wants, he don't touch in the country. It's not not work. Then if the president want to deal with him in the way he wants, he start to fight. Yeah, but this is questionable stuff, because I'm on two sides, because my wife is Russian, she was Ukrainian, but then she moved to Russia, and I have this inside my family, so I need to.
How does it work? How does that dynamic work where you're Ukrainian, you're married to a Russian?
I mean, she's not fully Russia, she's, but I mean, during this, imagine, during this situation, she have in the house under the war and shelling and stuff, so they need to move somewhere. Where they don't move. They have relatives in Russia, so they move to Russia. If their relative was in Ukraine, they will move to Ukraine. So this is just escaping of the war and try to have a normal life. So I understand these people, But this is complicated question.
It is. And it's a complicated war because you guys barely speak, your language is similar, you're practically brothers. You cannot separate. If I see a Ukrainian, I don't know whether it's a Russian or the Ukrainian. I've never seen the difference.
That's true. This summer we visited Yugoslavia. So the Yugoslavia now they split it. It's like Bosnia, Croatia, a lot of countries. They have similar fights. So when you have in one country different nationalities, then they it's intersect, or how you call this one, it just crossed, and when it starts something, it just creates a lot of damage because of this crossed relatives and stuff. But
what would you want to see the world power do more in ending the Ukraine-Russian war? What do you think the UN, US, the world power has to do?
I don't know. We in the situation and this particular time in this in the world where you have the ruler who have the power of just throwing thousands of people to death and fight. So I think after this guy something, they need to figure out government regulations or something. So one person don't have power like that. So there's a system against this greed and this power. Yes, but there is this certain rules. 5 years of president, but then they find the ways to next time. And then it just happening again and again.
You've been able to shoot a lot of wealthy people. What are some of the lessons you've learned, in terms of habits from some of the wealthiest people you've had to work?
This question. This is given hand is never get poor.
And I love
this is like this, and I like in your book this one you're saying that's by the way crazy guy. Why? Because when your pastor said, just give all your money that you have on a bank account for someone, and you're like, okay. I'm like, no, who? In that, this gotta try Dr. Steven. But then he get his contract for which is 100 times more than what she had before.
Yeah.
So and I thinking, yes, this is the way.
Yeah.
And one more thing I want to add for our previous question. A question is the influence of propaganda on everything. It's just so powerful too. It's there is a book and they write about this about another planet, but where they have this antennas which is control the population. So, and there's two antenna, two types of people. One of them feel really painful when this antenna works. Other people really go for everything this antenna gonna show you. And this is manipulation. And I see it in the real world because now this antenna with television, it's really affecting people, and it's can make aggression. It can direct them. It's really
before now so gullible, and you can just control them. A little content can be put out there. And
yeah, because in our world right now, it's too much happening. You cannot check everything which is true, which is not. Every side science, so new innovation and stuff you cannot check everything, right? So, but you have this TV which is showing you the news, but news 80% of them is bad. Maybe in Russia it's more like 90%.
Yeah.
And they really affecting all this situation affected by like 50% of Russia's success on this thing without people saying, what are you doing? Like, it's just because of
there's a huge amount of control over the media in Russia.
yeah.
Yeah, there's a lot of power in it.
People live far from this place, right? It's a big country, so they don't see what's happening there. So it's a bit complicated. And then they don't have another sources. Every other source which is saying truth or something, they cut it, and just have real control.
I like the internet kind of get.
Yep, they also this part of propaganda works that people trust only inside the country information. Outside, they want to take you. They want to all the Russian.
Yeah, everybody needs Russia, so
Yeah.
oh, be careful, don't.
Yes. This message is.
They're not here.
But there is a lot of like millions of people who like are smart, and they go outside Russia right now. I have a lot of friends who go out of Russia for now, like come to Dubai as well, and they still like good people. I cannot say about them, but this tension, like we cannot get rid of this tension between us even now, like even with friends. So yeah, it's a bit difficult, and that's why like all this situation is disturbing, because they destroyed this relationship. And I cannot say to my mom that I have a friend from Russia, because she's gonna kill me as well. I'm joking.
So how do you say welcome?
Laskavo prosim.
Laskavo prosimo.
Yes, laskavo.
Laskavo prosimo. Okay. Billionaire Happy Podcast.
Yeah. That well, we have time for the next one. So I read your book, and if not anyone know, like Dr. Stephen have certain of this, and then I'm like, wow. So some other people don't read like this in the lifetime. Why you do this? Why you not sitting at phone? Okay, just have your like. Why you not?
Because you're alive.
It's questionable.
Well, my upbringing was the reason why I'm doing this. I was born poor, and what saved me was books. I read a book called Rich Dad Poor Dad, and I look back today. What if the man didn't write the book? I would have known what I know, and I won't be here. So for me, I feel that when I write a book, I'm giving somebody a chance for their life to change. But the things that I read in the book, that's just going to change their lives forever. There are some possibilities they're going to see in the book and say, oh, this guy looks like me. This guy had similar background like me. He was having connection. He did a rich family. If you could do it, I could do it as well. So for me, I just want to be able to help as many people as I can with my story and see how many lives could change.
What was your first book?
My first book was called Survival Instinct.
Mm-hmm.
And it chronicled my journey through a lot. We're all very poor. We grew up in a place where there was no running electricity, no running water, no electricity. And it was really tough. My mother had to work as a civil servant to take care of 5 kids. So I kind of share how you could come from a third world country, and then boom, become quite successful. Out of, how you could survive tough experiences.
Yes, I read a lot of books as well, but I'm scared. Like as this interview, I'm scared to go loud, to say something, because I'm thinking my story is not so dramatic.
No, I don't think so.
No, it's not. I'm just saying that I have some fears, which is like deeper. Like it's not. I mean, I don't know why. But sometimes I'm writing something just for myself, just and hide the song. It's never on social media function.
What do you think is it for no share?
I think critics and critics of people.
But how many people know you to start with? No, you see that? You see your share deserve it. The truth is that how many people even know you? I used to have that problem as well. I realized that oftentimes people who are not even famous, they are scared, of bad feedback or of selling their name. But in reality, people don't even know you that much for you to even be thinking your name's going to be sold. Yeah, because there's just a billion people in the world.
What was your goal when you created your first book? Like, what you want to achieve, like, or you just want to share the story, or what?
Yeah, I just want to share the story and use the story to inspire somebody who is in my situation, and hoping that they're gonna be bold, courageous to take some of the hard decisions I have to take. I think books should be for the readers. Your goal is trying to help the readers, help as many of the people reading to have better, to have access to someone for to have access to, or even have better access, because you may not even have had them as much opportunity as they did, and you were able to come out. I mean, look at your life has turned out very well here in Dubai. Even the journey of how you left Ukraine and you moved to Azerbaijan, all this that I don't really find it exciting. Somebody who read that story have been inspired, and the person who reading the story in Kiev, in Syria, in Palestine, and is inspired to travel the world and see possibilities.
But one of other, look, now I'm thinking about one of other things that, because I'm not get certain level of success that I want, and I don't think I have a right to talk now.
But success is not a destination, it's a journey, right? So you don't get there. Like, I haven't gotten there. It's a journey, and I will never get there. Especially to make it there is where I get there.
Mm-hmm.
But success is not a destination, it's a journey. Once you cross one, you move to another, then you move to another, then you move to another. So there's never really that, okay, we've arrived, we've gotten there, really, when it comes to success.
I don't know what's inside me. To be honest, if I solve it, I will write it, It's like, no, I'm just on the way.
I think that, I admit it, you would never feel you've arrived. I have never felt that. I see those shit though.
We're in Burj Khalifa right now. Yeah, I feel this stuff.
I know, but it's just a house.
That was being there.
But it's just a house. For me, it's just, some small house, the edges and boards, but some house. It's just, my dream is, can I own the whole boards? Can I build the whole boards? Can I build my own board? Can I build my own boards downtown? That's a fountain, another set of apartment. All of it. Can I own this entire thing? Can I do it? And even when I build it, I'm sure I'm going to, can I do twice of that? Or can I do 20? Can I do about 50? So you will never get there. It's a journey. And no matter how rich you are, there will always be somebody reaching, right? By one thing or the other. It may be something they have that you don't have. It may be they're more famous than you are. It may be that they're more powerful than you are. But there's always somebody who has something that you don't have. There's somebody who will always be ahead of you on area or the other. So it's always a journey.
One question about greed, right? It's like, I think it's always with us in a way. And then I'm just curious, like, if you're growing, your financials growing, sometimes you like, oh, should I give it less? I'm just, how you deal with greed when you're growing and your financials growing, your charity also growing, right?
Well, if you have a budget, you should have a charity budget. And you should always have budgets that are into the future that you may not even have. Like my current charity budget right now is to give away $5 million in the next 5 years. Now, right now, right here, do I have $5 million sitting in the bank? No, right? But the goal is the first year I'm going to give 48 people $5,000 each, right? So that's just a couple of, little over probably $100,000 thereabout. I'm not sure. First year we're doing like 48 people getting $5,000. That's about $240,000 in the first year, and then the second year we're increasing that to about 10 persons every month. So that gives us about another 120 people, and then we keep increasing.
Okay, why are you doing this? Why are you not building houses or something for yourself, or like just putting this out? Why are you doing this?
Well, I'm already building houses. We're doing one to real estate, so we're building 25,000 agreements battle. But it's for people. Could I do for myself? Yes, but
Okay, just spend it for.
But I have never had joy keeping money. Money has never made me happy. Where I have money in my personal bank account, I don't have. My joy has always remained the same. So my joy has never been tied to how much money I have. Well, my joy has been tied to how much people have been able to impact. So, for example, we're able to help, 400 people to own a land. That gives me joy. It's about some of them giving their testimony and say, hey, Dr. Steve, because of you, I was able to buy 2 land from your company. I'm happy I'm the land owner. I get joy. So I get joy that hopefully when we're done with our 25,000 green and smart home in 13 years, I have so much joy. Not that I've moved in, see people move into their houses that we're able to build for them. Yeah, they paid us, but the joy is in that we could do it for them, help them achieve their dreams. So for me, helping another 1,000 entrepreneurs, giving them on $5,000 each, well, imagine how many businesses are going to be empowered. Imagine how big those businesses will be in the next 10, 20 years. Imagine how many of them will still come back, donate to my foundation, help that process to continue so that it doesn't die. Imagine when I'm long dead and people will keep talking about how the foundation helped them and how the foundation is able to keep, being in the position to help. So I feel the real reason God created us is not to accumulate money, it's not to keep money. And this is why many successful entrepreneurs had never done it for themselves. That's the funny thing. People don't believe it. A lot of time when people see the house they live in, and that's why even Elon Musk doesn't even have his own house that he built, that is in his name. He's rented where he's living. It's big, massive, but it's not the owner. And so what people don't know is that for entrepreneurs, the joy had never been in, I own this. I have more money in the bank. I remember one of the richest African. So what they kept saying is, what this? He has this. So what they had to go to the bank and said, I want to withdraw, I can't remember, whether it was $1 million or $10 million. So he got the money and then put it on the bed. I was looking at it like, okay, so I even have this money. Because anything will feel, it's like, it's in people's head. And the next thing you try to bring back to the bank. But the reality is, people that have this mindset that, he owns this, he has this. In your mind, what really matters is how many more how many more jobs can we create? So when you're saying, hey, we need to make money, you're saying we need to make money so we can employ more people. We need to make money so we can build more houses. And it's still people don't need. We need to make more money so we can expand our businesses. So you're seeing it in the light of the impact. Just the same way with this. So we're shooting this now, right? Some of the crew are able to have something paid to them because we're doing the show. We're shooting this now. Some people will watch this and their lives will change because we're shooting this. So it has to always be about the impact. Now, nothing wrong with you making money on the side while you're doing that. That's okay. But if you put money as the first thing, then you're even not going to make the money. You're going to be broke. Or if you put the impact, the lives that will change, what can happen as the first thing, the money will follow you.
That's why, by the way, I'm observing other entrepreneurs and successful people that I met with.
Yeah.
And that's really like similar. Yeah, passionate about what they're doing.
Yeah.
And the jobs they providing for the people.
Yeah.
It's important for them.
Yeah.
But they don't keep money. That's true.
Yeah. The money is that, I tell people that money is supposed to be like an errand boy. Money is like a messenger, right? Money is not the thing. It's just something you say, oh, go do this, come back. Go do this, come back. So what is wrong when you not keep it? And I said, yeah, stay, yeah. Money stay. That's where you have the problem. Right? But when you understand that money say, go do this, come back. Do this. So you say, money, build this house, generate money from rent, then come back. You say, it works. Then the rent comes in, I go do this again. That's where money is supposed to be. Messenger. Not keep them. You don't keep it. You send it.
And this country, by the way, proven this what you think, because there is like a country UAE. There is one.
Yeah.
In one border, like the sheikh was keeping his money in a warehouse. The rat was eating 1 million every month. Or something. Like bottom layers was born, and he's keeping. And this sheikh died. He was like giving, building. And so I like, so rich people, I think those who they conquer their greed, and they like
Absolutely.
and this is, and when they conquer their greed, especially if they're in power, they will make the country.
Well, unfortunately, the narrative in the world is that rich people are greedy. Unfortunately, that and that's why a podcast like this is important, because unfortunately the mindset, the narration is that, oh, he wants to have more. He wants to own this, he wants to own that, he's greedy. Meanwhile, the person who is greedy is that person who only makes money for themselves, for what they are going to eat and drink and family and me. That's the person who's greedy.
That's true.
Right? The person who's not greedy is the person who's thinking, we open more business, so we employ more people, we farm more people. That's really helpful. But again, the narrative has changed because we are now having more politicians, than entrepreneurs. We're now having more people. Meanwhile, those politicians are just disappearing because they're also taken out of their paid monthly allowance and wages from our collected money, right? So it's easy for them to keep telling you, that rich man is the problem, so that you can vote for them. But in reality, even the politicians, do a business so you can empower more people, create more jobs.
That's true. And all this, like when you travel, it's happening, you're observing how the different countries is working.
Yeah.
And this is, I was talking about the base, like the core of success of this country is like the ruler of this country is like,
let's invest, let's spend, let's build the town, let's build in the world, let's build after we build that, let's build another bigger one. Let's build a mall twice the size
and give to people like for they.
He has a 1 billion food initiative, where they're creating people food all over the world, created an environment where people can be comfortable, people can come invest, and globally the charity project of UAE across even UAE is amazing. And if you're a citizen, it's amazing the opportunities. You don't pay for a burial. There's so many things come.
Yeah, they give him opportunities to open business for the locals.
Yeah,
in a nice way. And I mean, this is like when we like traveling and like observing, and especially living, and then when you're doing business here, and then you come back, you like, well, it can be better.
Yeah,
like
absolutely.
And this is like
absolutely. Thank you for coming here. I appreciate you. You did well. You were scared. Ladies and gentlemen,
I forgot that we
we just wish I had a beautiful episode of the Billionaire Habit podcast, the Dubai Burj Khalifa edition of obviously we're gonna have US, UK, Nigeria editions as well. And it was also having Yurii, your son, again.
It's better. We will
No word. Let's got it. Because I love it.
Kryvoshei.
Yeah. Yurii Kryvoshei has been my guest. He's been my videographer for a couple of years now. Amazing profession, but if you're in Dubai, you want to shoot anything, talk to you. But it's a good guy.
Thank you.
Bye-bye, guys.
Bye-bye.